Well, um, h- oh God, how would I describe what I do for a living? What I do for a living is I write about the world that I believe I am observing. I do not regard myself particularly as a part of that world, although if you do it as often as I do, and you become as familiar to a lot of people in this particular world that I have become, then people think of you as part of that world. But basically, I believe that I am an observer, and I am actually inspired by social chroniclers and social historians. First of all, the joy, I have a daily website, as you probably know, NewYorkSocialDiary.com, and part of the joy in what I do now is that at the end of the day, after I finish my work and we put the website up online and I see it, it gives me joy. The struggle now is coming to terms with the world as I see it, and how we can make it a better place to live, or if that's possible. I'm not quite so sure that it's possible. And also, I'm getting older now, and I'm 66, and when you get over a certain age, you become aware of the fact of your own mortality in a very real way, by which I mean you begin to see that the horizon is there, whatever that means. And so there's somewhat of, and yet at the same time, I feel very young in a lot of ways, because in a lot of ways I'm immature, and in a lot of ways my intellect is undeveloped. And so you nevertheless are struggling to come to terms with all of these things and keeping your right mind. Well, when I was a little boy growing up in Massachusetts, and as I told you, my father got the New York tabloids, those things and the books that my mother read to me as a child, and then the books I started to read as I was growing up. My favorite author was a man named John O'Hara. I was inspired to seek out a life not at all dissimilar to the life that I now have, although it could be defined in different terms. And when I write my columns to tell people about where I have been, I always think of that little boy who was really interested in the outside world. And I think that there are lots of those little boys and little girls out there, and grown-up people who have that in them, who are interested in what it's like to be in that place. And so that is basically what motivates me when I'm writing.